Welcome back to our channel. You know that old is gold, but these coins that are most valuable. You are lucky if you have one of these. Please watch complete video. Let's start this. We're talking about the 1993 D Mint Mark quarter, but with a rare silver composition error. Most quarters that year were copper nickel, but a tiny number were struck on silver planchets, blanks intended for silver-proof sets. Ever hold a coin and think, why does this feel heavier than usual? Or have you noticed a quarter that just looks shinier? More detailed? Guess what? That could be the silver clue. Only a handful of these error coins exist. And collectors? They're foaming at the mouth to get their hands on them. One pristine example recently hit $685,000 at a private sale. Now, here's where things get wild. These coins often slip under the radar because they look normal. Your average cashier, your local coin dealer, they might miss the signs. But you won't. Not after this. Connect emotional stakes. And here's the scary part. People have unknowingly spent these coins, used them for coffee, or even tossed them into tip jars. They gave away a fortune for 25 cents. Imagine that. One decision, and $685,000 gone forever. So how do you make sure you're not one of them? Let's break down the key identifiers. Must have a bold D under "In God We Trust." Edge should appear uniformly silver, no copper band. Should be approximate 6.25 grams. Use a precision scale. Has a distinct ring when tapped, not a dull clink. Must be authenticated and graded MS66 or higher. Now here's the twist. Even slightly worn examples have sold for tens of thousands. But to unlock the full $685,000, condition is everything. This is where grading comes in, and most people mess this part up. But before I tell you how to sell this coin the right way and avoid getting ripped off, let me ask you something. Would you trade $685,000 for a tank of gas? Because someone already did. Pause, fade to black for a second. Here's how to avoid that fate and cash in the right way. Let's say you found one. Or maybe you're inspired to start checking. What next? You don't just walk into a pawn shop and say, "Give me the cash." That's how people get pennies on the dollar. Send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. Get a professional appraisal from a coin expert, not a random eBay seller. List it through a reputable auction house, think Heritage Auctions or Great Collections. Never clean the coin, ever. That alone can destroy its value. This is your chance to do what most people dream about. Turn something ordinary into generational wealth. And it starts with a 25-cent coin. This isn't just about the money. It's about discovering that you've been sitting on a fortune without knowing it. It's about creating a legacy, paying off debt, retiring early, helping your kids, living the life you deserve. Tonight, pull out that jar of change. Get a magnifying glass. Look for the D. Feel the weight. Trust your instincts. Because somewhere out there, someone will find one of these rare quarters. Why not you? Subscribe if you want more hidden coin treasures. In our next video, we reveal the top 5 rare pennies worth over $1 million. You won't believe number 2. It's been sitting in circulation since 1943. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or want help checking yours. The next millionaire could be watching this right now. What if I told you that a single coin, something you might have sitting in an old drawer or tucked away in a shoebox, could be worth more than a beachfront condo in Malibu? That a 1966 George Washington quarter with no mint mark could be your ticket to a $7.485 million payday? Sounds insane. Stick with me, because this isn't fiction. This is one of the most underestimated and misunderstood coins in U.S. history. And some lucky collectors have already struck gold, well, silver. Let's rewind to 1966. The Beatles ruled the airwaves, gas was 32 cents a gallon, and the U.S. Mint made a radical decision that shook collectors. They removed mint marks from coins to deter hoarding. So, when you see a quarter from 1966 with no mint mark, that's actually expected. But here's the twist. Most 1966 quarters were clad, meaning made from copper and nickel, not silver. But a few rare errors slipped through the cracks. A handful of 1966 quarters were accidentally struck on 90% silver planchets. Leftover blanks from 1964, these are the golden air silver tickets. And yes, they've sold for millions. Wait, a 25-cent coin is worth more than my house. Yep. Welcome to coin collecting. Now let's talk value. As of this year, the current market estimate for a high-grade 1966 silver quarter with no mint mark is a mind-blowing $7.485 million. Only a handful are known to exist. Minting errors like these aren't just rare, they're artifacts of chaos. The ultra-rich want unique pieces. They don't care what it costs. And here's the kicker, you could have one. Most people don't know what they're holding. They toss it in a jar or worse, spend it at a vending machine. Imagine waking up tomorrow, reaching into your change stash, and realizing you're a millionaire. That's one way to beat inflation. Forget crypto, just check your couch cushions. No mint mark, as expected in 1966, silver quarters weigh 6.25 g versus clad at 5.67 g silver rings, differently when dropped solid silver edge versus the copper sandwich. Look professional appraisal is a must before selling, even experts have missed these. Some coins were misgraded or sold way below their true worth. Handle it with care. Wrap it in soft cloth, no scratches. Weigh it. If it's 6.25 grams, your heart rate should already be rising. Get it graded. Use NGC or PCGS, top tier only. Consult a professional seller. Auction houses like Heritage or Stack's Bowers deal with seven-figure coins every day. Now, I'm not here just to hype you up. I'm here to guide you. Because if you have the right coin, you're not just a collector anymore. You're a millionaire in waiting. You're someone who's about to change their financial destiny. You're one coin away from generational wealth. And here's the thing. Every year, fewer of these coins remain unaccounted for. Time is running out. The market is hot, collectors are hungry, and every day someone else discovers a jackpot you could have had. What if this week is the week you find it? What if you're one step away from uncovering the most valuable quarter you've ever owned? Don't leave it to chance. Like this video if you want more guides on identifying rare coins. Subscribe so you don't miss the next $1 million discovery. Drop a comment if you've got a 1966 quarter. Let's help each other uncover hidden fortune. Because sometimes, the smallest things hold the greatest wealth. Comment below. Subscribe to turn your pocket change into a portfolio. What if I told you that a single coin sitting in your kitchen drawer could be worth over $7.6 million? And you might have already touched it and let it go. That's right. A simple, unassuming 1998 silver George Washington quarter, minted with a tiny P mark, has collectors fighting over it like Wall Street brokers in a bidding war. Most people have no idea what they're holding. Stick around because in the next 10 minutes we'll uncover how this rare coin slipped through the cracks of history, how to tell if your quarter could be the $1 million one, and why timing is everything. And if you're thinking, it's just a quarter, well, so was the one that just sold for the price of a beachfront mansion in Malibu. Feeling curious yet? The year was 1998. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia released millions of Washington quarters. Nothing unusual, or so we thought. But in a rare batch, an unexpected material was used, 90% pure silver, a composition that hadn't been seen since 1964 in regular circulation. The mistake? Or a covert strike by an insider? We still don't know. But what we do know is this: a handful of these silver anomalies made it into circulation. And just one of them, marked with the P mint mark, was recently authenticated and sold for a jaw-dropping $7.685 million. But why this coin? Why did it explode in value while others from the same year are worth just 25 cents? We'll get to that. But first, let's talk about what to look for. Here's how you can tell if your 1998 quarter is the millionaire's twin. Look right below the word "In God We Trust." If there's a tiny P, you're off to a good start. That means it was minted in Philadelphia. Regular 1998 quarters are made of a copper-nickel blend. But the rare silver version has a noticeably different ring when dropped, and it weighs slightly more. Don't go chucking all your quarters at the floor. Your pets will think you've finally lost it. Look at the side of the coin. If it doesn't have a visible copper line, congratulations. you might be holding silver. Look for die errors, double strikes, or slight off-centers. These tiny imperfections? Collectors go wild for them. But even if you find one, how do you sell it for millions without getting ripped off? Most sellers make this one mistake, and it could cost them everything. Let's make sure that's not you. Most people rush to pawn shops or list their coin online and lose out on tens of thousands, sometimes millions. Authenticate your coin. Send your coin to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Without proper authentication, no serious buyer will take the risk. Avoid middleman bay listings, and local pawn shops will undervalue you. Go through a reputable coin auction house or a certified numismatic broker. Time the market right now. Rare coin values are at a 20-year high. With inflation, precious metals, and collector demand rising, there's never been a better time to cash in. Would you sell a Picasso painting at a garage sale? Then don't let your $1 million quarter go for 25 cents. And if you're still wondering if it's too late, or if the opportunity has passed you by, just wait until you hear about the forgotten vault in Ohio that was recently discovered, holding dozens of rare 1998 silver quarters. And what happened next will shock you. This isn't just about coins, it's about recognizing hidden value and taking action while you still can. That 1998 quarter in your drawer, it might just be your ticket to early retirement, your kid's college fund, or the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. So check your coins. Check your jars. Check your glove compartments. Because the $1 million quarter doesn't look like $1 million. But if you know what to look for, it could change your life. Subscribe for more hidden coin values. Leave a comment if you think you've found one. And remember, wealth isn't just earned. Sometimes it's discovered. What if I told you that a simple quarter from 1995, a coin you might have used to buy a gumball or feed a parking meter, could now be worth close to $1 million? Yes, a single silver-colored coin, the 1995 D Mint Mark George Washington quarter dollar, recently stunned collectors when one sold for $985,000. And get this, thousands are still out there. Still think that jar of coins in your kitchen is just holding up space for your cat's treats? Stick with me, because over the next 10 minutes, I'll reveal how you can spot these rare coins, what makes your quarter potentially worth a fortune, and why selling now could change your life forever. And near the end of this video, I'll reveal the single error that can multiply your quarter's value by 10x. Miss it, and you might literally throw away $100,000. It all started quietly. At a small estate auction in Ohio, a retired teacher's coin collection was being sold off. Nothing unusual until lot number 126 hit the table. A 1995 D. George Washington quarter, silver in appearance, modest in look. But when it hit the light, an experienced collector froze. It wasn't just any coin. It had sharp detail, a rare off-center strike, and most importantly, a composition anomaly. Turns out, this quarter was accidentally struck on a 90% silver planchet, meant for older coins or collector sets, not circulation. It was a mint error, extremely rare, virtually undocumented at the time. It eventually sold at a private auction for a jaw-dropping $985,000. Suddenly, Grandma's change jar looked less like a joke and more like an early retirement plan. Now here's the kicker. These coins didn't just come from some exclusive set. They were accidentally released into general circulation, meaning they're out there, possibly in your home, your drawer, your car. So, how do you know if your quarter is the one? Check the mint mark. Look for the D mint mark, located just to the right of Washington's ponytail. That tells you it was minted in Denver, the origin of the now famous error. Examine the material. Most 1995 quarters are made from copper nickel clad. But if yours looks unusually shiny or rings like silver when dropped lightly on a table, that's a clue. But there's one more sign, and most people overlook it, even experienced collectors. I'll get to that in just a moment. Inspect the strike and edge. If your quarter has unusually sharp details or a smooth, partially missing reeded edge, that's another red flag, or rather, green light, that you've got something rare. Don't clean it. Don't polish it. That could slash its value in half. Handle it carefully by the edges and get it graded. Companies like PCGS and NGC will authenticate and grade your coin. A verified mint error with high grade, say MS 67 or above, can skyrocket in value. Imagine finding a $985,000 check disguised as a quarter. No need to chase crypto or flip real estate. Your path to wealth might already be in your sock drawer. Still think coin collecting is just for old men in basement clubs? Well, old men just got richer than TikTok influencers. Here's the truth. Most people never check their coins. They assume old means worthless. But in the world of numismatics, age is just the beginning. Error, condition, scarcity. That's what counts. Remember that single error I promised to reveal? It's called a wrong planchet strike. These are coins minted on the wrong type of metal. If your 1995 D quarter is struck on a silver or foreign coin blank, it's not just rare, it's legendary. And because these weren't supposed to exist, every expert is on the hunt for more. Prices have exploded. Collectors are paying 6, even 7 figures. But as more get found, values may drop. Timing is everything. So what do? Go grab your coins. Look, test, research, and if you think you've got something, act. Get it graded. Contact a reputable auction house. Don't sell it on eBay for $20 when it could be your one-way ticket to generational wealth. In our next video, I'll show you how a common-looking penny turned into $1 million mystery, and how one man almost threw it away thinking it was fake. Subscribe, like, and share this with someone who might be sitting on a gold mine and not even know it. Because sometimes, it's not about what you earn. It's about what you already own. Imagine waking up tomorrow, walking to your kitchen, grabbing your loose change, and finding a single quarter that turns your life around. Not just any quarter, one worth $885,000. You heard that right. A 25-cent coin, minted in 1997 with a small D on it, could be your golden ticket to early retirement, debt freedom, and living the life you've only dreamed of. So, let me ask you, have you checked your change today? And if your answer is, I only use Apple Pay, then buddy, it might be time to dig through your couch cushions like your wealth depends on it. Because it might. The hidden treasure in plain sight. In 1997, the U.S. Mint produced millions of George Washington quarters. Most are worth exactly what they say, 25 cents. But a rare few, specifically those minted in Denver with the D Mint mark, hold a secret. These aren't your average coins. Some were struck on silver planchets by error, a rare mishap that turned a mundane coin into a 6-figure jackpot. One of these coins recently surfaced and sold for $885,000 at a private collector's auction. Fear of missing out. There's the kicker. This coin wasn't discovered in a vault. It wasn't locked in a museum. It was found in someone's old change jar, right under their nose for decades. How many of these coins are still out there? How many people have unknowingly spent a fortune on gas station coffee? Let's talk about why this coin is so valuable, how to spot one, and what you should be doing right now to make sure you don't miss out on a potential windfall hiding in your pocket. What makes this coin worth hundreds of thousands? First, the coin in question is from 1997, with the D Mint mark, indicating it was struck in Denver. Some of these coins were mistakenly struck using 90% silver blanks. Blanks that should have been used for commemorative coins, not your everyday pocket change. These error coins are exceedingly rare, and rarity equals value. Combine that with demand from wealthy collectors who want what no one else has, and suddenly, that coin in your hand is worth more than a luxury car. $885,000 and rising. A verified 1997 D silver quarter sold for $885,000 in a recent auction. And with coin collecting booming, especially among high net worth investors, the value of rare coins is climbing fast. At this point, checking your coin jar isn't just good practice. It might be the smartest financial move you've made since switching to generic cereal. The window is closing every year. More rare coins are either lost, spent, or damaged. And every coin removed from circulation makes the remaining ones even more valuable. Waiting could cost you everything. The time to act is now. Because the next millionaire coin could be hiding in your drawer. So how do you identify one of these unicorns? How do you know if you're sitting on a 6-figure payday? Stick with me, because what I'm about to show you could change your life. How to identify a 1997 D silver quarter worth thousands? It must read 1997 with a D below the word, "In God We Trust." Silver coins have a brighter, almost white shine. If the edge of the coin doesn't show a copper stripe, it could be silver. Silver quarters weigh 6.25 grams. Regular ones weigh slightly less. A basic digital scale can confirm this. Get it verified. If it checks these boxes, do not clean it. Contact a reputable coin grading company like PCGS or NGC immediately. The lifestyle transformation: you verify your coin, and it's legit. You sell it for $885,000. Suddenly gone. Yours, first class, baby. Why not? This isn't fantasy. This is the new American dream. And it starts with what's already in your home. Don't wait. Check your change. Check your drawers. Check your life. Subscribe for more hidden coin treasures and drop a comment below if you think you found a rare coin. We might just feature you in the next video. And if you thought this coin was valuable, wait until you hear about the 1970 quarter mistakenly struck on a Canadian coin. That one, even rarer. See you in the next video, where your spare change could be your first million. Would you like a version of the script formatted for teleprompter use or broken into a video editing timeline with visuals and B-roll suggestions? Why is this coin, from your childhood pocket change, now commanding millionaire attention? What hidden detail has collectors scrambling? And could you be holding one in your sock drawer right now? No, this is not a prank. And no, that rattling in your junk drawer isn't just loose change. It might be your retirement plan waiting to be cashed in. Let me guess. You're wondering if this is just another one of those viral coin myths, right? Well, buckle up, because this story has the twist of a Hollywood thriller. And the ending? That's up to you. In 1981, America was in flux. Ronald Reagan had just taken office, MTV hadn't even launched yet, and gas was $1.25 a gallon. But in the midst of economic uncertainty, the Philadelphia Mint produced a small run of quarters with a mistake so subtle, so rare, that only a handful have ever been confirmed. These error coins weren't supposed to exist, but like many great treasures, they slipped through the cracks. What makes this particular 1981 P quarter stand out? A misaligned die strike, a double rim, or even a silver planchet mix-up. All details that increase rarity tenfold. You know how everyone has a drawer full of mystery batteries, broken keys, and old coins? Turns out that drawer might be more valuable than your 401k right now. In recent years, a verified 1981 P Washington quarter with a rare die error sold privately for $785,000. Let that sink in. That's more than the average price of a bedroom house in Florida. So how does a 25-cent piece reach this astronomical price tag? 3 reasons: rarity, condition, and collector demand. A coin in MS 67 plus grade with full luster and flawless fields becomes a unicorn in the collector's world. Throw in a rare error? Now we're in millionaire territory. There are still dozens of these coins unaccounted for. They're out there, maybe even in your hands. Now, don't go rushing to the nearest pawn shop. First, learn to recognize the signs. Look for the P mint mark just above the date check for a silver sheen. Some were mistakenly struck on a silver planchet. Notice any double rim, off-center strike, or missing details on Washington's hair or neck. If you need to squint so hard you see your future instead of the coin. Maybe use a magnifying glass. Once you think you've found something, don't trust your cousin Steve's opinion. Get it graded professionally by PCGS or NGC. You're not just selling a coin. You're unlocking a moment in history and a future of freedom. A single quarter could clear your debts, pay off your house, or fund your dream vacation. And yet, most people will never look twice at the one rattling around in their cup holder. But here's the danger. You might spend that treasure on a coffee tomorrow, completely unaware of what you had. Collectors are hunting. Values are surging. The market is hotter now than it's ever been. But here's the truth. This window won't stay open forever. Every day, more of these rare coins are lost, damaged, or unknowingly spent. And coming up in our next video, we reveal the top 3 coins from the 1970s that are now worth over $2 million. including one that could be hiding in plain sight. So before you toss that quarter into the vending machine, take a closer look. You might just be holding your legacy in the palm of your hand. Subscribe, check your change. And remember, wealth doesn't always come from what you earn. Sometimes, it's what you already own. What if I told you that a coin in your kitchen drawer right now could be worth more than your car, possibly your house? That's right. A simple 1997 George Washington quarter dollar with a small P mint mark recently made headlines after fetching $685,000 at auction. Millions of these coins were minted, so why was this one different? Why did it command a price tag that could fund your early retirement? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know why, but you'll learn exactly what to look for in your own collection and how to possibly turn a coin into a life-changing fortune. Unless you enjoy donating six figures to your junk drawer, this video might just be the best 10 minutes you've spent all year. Let's rewind to 1997. A year when gas was $1.23, Titanic ruled the box office, and the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia quietly released the now infamous 1997 P quarter. Millions were struck, but hidden among them were rarities. A handful of these quarters were struck on 90% silver planchets, meant for collector sets, or, as some experts suspect, minting errors that slipped into general circulation. That's right. Some quarters were made of silver in an era where they shouldn't exist. They're rare, they're valuable, and they're out there. But here's what separates junk from jackpot. Most 1997 quarters are copper-nickel, but the rare few are made of silver, 90% silver, 10% copper. You can check with a precision scale or get it tested at a coin shop. It must have a P mark, which signifies it was minted in Philadelphia, where this specific error has been verified. Coins graded MS66 or higher by PCGS or NGC skyrocket in value. That $685,000 sale? It was an MS68. So no, your quarter with a scratch from your car keys and a bite mark from your toddler probably isn't breaking auction records anytime soon. But imagine this. You wake up tomorrow, walk to your kitchen counter, and that forgotten cup of spare change actually contains a six-figure coin. What would that mean for you? Paid-off mortgage? Your kids' college tuition? The freedom to retire early? Or just knowing you made something out of nothing? The truth is, it's not just a coin, it's a chance. And chance only rewards those who are paying attention. So now you know what makes the 1997 P quarter so special. But the real question is, what do you do with that knowledge? First, check your stash, coin jars, old wallets, inherited boxes in your attic. Look for that P mint mark. Second, weigh it. A silver quarter will weigh around 6.25 grams, heavier than the usual 5.67 grams. Third, get it graded. Use professional services like PCGS or NGC. An authenticated silver strike with a high grade is your ticket to 5, maybe 6 figures. And finally, don't wait. Coin values fluctuate. Interest spikes, then drops. The window to sell at peak price is often short. But what if I told you the 1997 P isn't the only modern quarter worth a fortune? There's another, rarer, lesser known, worth over $1 million, and it's hiding in plain sight. We'll reveal that in the next episode. Don't let your fortune sit in a drawer one more day. Like and subscribe if you're ready to uncover more hidden treasures in your home. And join a growing community of people who turn spare change into serious wealth. You're not just collecting coins. You're collecting opportunities. And this might be your moment. What if I told you there could be a forgotten coin, tucked away in your drawer, passed down from a parent, or resting silently in your pocket change? That's worth more than your house. A single 1992 D-Mint George Washington silver quarter has sold for a jaw-dropping $685,000, and yes, more could be out there. Could you be holding the next six-figure coin without even knowing it? Before you cash in that jar of quarters at the Coinstar, you need to hear this. Let me paint you a picture. It's 1992. Bill Clinton just won the presidency. The Dream Team dominates the Olympics. Meanwhile, the Denver Mint quietly strikes a small batch of George Washington silver quarters with a rare error, an error that would go unnoticed by most until decades later. This wasn't supposed to be a silver coin. It was a time when silver quarters were long out of circulation. Yet this particular 1992 D quarter was struck on a 90% silver planchet by mistake. A minting error that would make it one of the most sought-after collector's items in American numismatics. Quick question. When's the last time you checked your change for mint errors? Never? Well, this might change that. Collectors, dealers, and investors are now scrambling to find these quarters before the secret gets out. And here's the terrifying truth. You may have already spent one on laundry. So how do you know if you have one? Here's what to look for. Look for a clear D mint mark under the eagle's tail on the reverse. Silver quarters sound different. Drop one on a wooden surface, it rings like a bell. Use a scale. Silver quarters weigh slightly more. Around 6.25 grams, a real silver quarter has a clean, solid silver edge, no copper strip. Now, just imagine finding one. Imagine listing it in an auction and watching the bids climb. 20K, 100K, 300K. Until the hammer drops at $685,000. That's not just life-changing money. It's generational wealth. But here's where it gets even crazier. This wasn't the only valuable coin from that year. The 1992 D silver quarter is part of a larger story. A story where everyday Americans, just like you, are discovering hidden wealth in their old change jars, inherited collections, and flea market finds. Some coins from the 90s and early 2000s are now fetching six figures, thanks to rare errors, limited mintage, and collector demand. You don't need to be a collector. You just need curiosity, a few minutes of inspection, and maybe a little luck. Seriously, your next vacation home might be hiding under your couch cushions. Go ahead, flip that cushion. I'll wait. Still here? Good, because here's where urgency kicks in. As more of these quarters are discovered and sold, the market adjusts, prices drop, rarity decreases, and your opportunity to turn pocket change into profit disappears. This is your window. Coin dealers are aggressively buying, auctions are surging, and silver values are climbing. The $685,000 sale wasn't a fluke. It was a wake-up call. So, what do you do if you find one? Who do you contact? And how do you avoid getting ripped off when selling it? That's exactly what we'll cover in our next video. How to sell rare coins safely for maximum profit. Don't miss it. Subscribe now, hit that bell icon, and turn on all notifications. And hey, if you found this helpful or inspiring, drop a comment below. Tell us your coin story. You never know, you might already be holding a quarter worth more than a luxury car. Because the future doesn't belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who dig, discover, and take action. Let me know if you'd like a matching voiceover script, thumbnail idea, or B-roll list to help you visualize and produce this video professionally.